it's Bondal and Jolly with Elevate and 365, and thanks for tuning in to today's casual conversation. I am hanging out with a very good friend, Kevin Blank. Kevin has been the CTO at Emerge for, well, as long as Emerge has been around. And when our company was acquired this last year, Kevin also joined the Elevate team as a senior developer. So Kevin, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So you are actually in our Dallas office geeking out with like the whole dev team. So I'm super happy that you wanted to take a few minutes and join me for this week, because we've got some good info we need to share. So we've got a lot of agents who are coming to us right now. They're preparing their holiday newsletters, their holiday greetings that they're planning to send out on Emerge. And we have a tendency to see a lot of the same types of errors that people make, and then they get frustrated because their emails aren't inboxing. And so I think you've got 5 tips that you're going to share with us today that are best practices, not only for holiday newsletters, but honestly for any kind of email that you're sending out, right?
Yep.
And so let's help our agents get to those inboxes and engage their audience. What have you got for us?
All right, the first tip in general, but also for holiday, because people feel the inclination to do so, is to avoid putting too many images in there. A lot of people want to put wreaths and trees and whatnot, and it's best to keep your images light and keep your text a little more heavy. So that's my first one. My second one, when it comes to images, is to avoid using overly scripty fonts on top of images. If you're sending out a holiday greeting or something that looks like a card, those images can be hard to read on top of a mobile browser, where most people are reading their email these days. And also, it doesn't help anything as far as your spam score. It's better to use the text in the email itself.
Yeah, so that's true. So many people, right, are reading their emails on their smartphones, and I see it all the time. I get emails in my inbox, and they'll have a beautiful graphic with text laid over it, and then I'm sitting there having to like expand, right, trying to click and expand the image to even be able to read what it says. So I think it's important. I know, to test your email, for mobile friendliness, right, before you send it. And I know in Emerge, we obviously allow people to see what it looks like, on a mobile as well as a desktop. And then when you were saying too, like, don't use too many images, because everybody wants beautiful images in their holiday cards, right? I think it's about a lot of finding balance, right? If I'm going to have that big image, I also need to have that complementary text that supports it. So there's a balance between imagery and text. Is that right?
Right. Most spam filters, especially like Gmail, use a ratio of text to imagery. I usually use the 3 and 3 rule, with 3 links, 3 images is kind of my max when it comes to an email. And the more text you have, the better inboxing that you're going to see. 3 or 4 images with 1 sentence of text, there's a likelihood that you're going to get caught in the promotions or in the spam folder.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And one thing I see too that I tend to like is if you do have an image that you lay text over, a lot of times I'll see somebody who will take and reiterate that text in writing, below or even above the image. And I think that that's really helpful too. So that helps me eliminate having to do that crazy span on my mobile phone.
Yeah, especially when you get to the mobile preview, like when you actually see the email not in full view, but just in the subject line and in the list of emails, that text will go through. And so reiterating it in the email is definitely a good tip.
Awesome. Okay, so what else do you got? What's next?
My next tip is when you write your personal message, try to make it at least 2 paragraphs. A 1-sentence email is just not going to inbox well. So you want to make that personal message a little longer, take a little time, and keep that word count up, because the more words, again, it skews your ratio of text to imagery more towards text, and that's going to get better placement.
Okay.
Yep. As far as text goes, my next tip is to avoid large red text. There's a tendency this time of year to use large red text because of the colors of the season, and that's not going to do well when it comes to spam filters. So try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, I see a lot of that, and that's always in my spam box. And the other thing too, Kevin, is the overuse of exclamation marks.
Yep.
So it'll be a big, bold red header with like a bunch of exclamation marks. And then, yeah, it's going straight to my spam folder.
Yep. And then my last big tip goes back to my 3 and 3 rule with 3 images, 3 links. Keep your links light. You don't need to plaster, especially a holiday message, you don't need to plaster the email with links to a bazillion websites or different aspects of your website. Use one singular call to action to get your user back to your website. That's going to be more effective for them. They're not going to feel so scatterbrained, and it's going to get you better. It's going to do better for spam filters.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And another thing too for you to consider when you're creating your holiday messages is, this might not necessarily be that time for you to have like aggressive sales call to actions or anything like that. It might be just a nice opportunity. You've built and curated your audience, and just, send them a holiday greeting. And I do like always having a link, to be able to contact you or to get to your website. So if people want to reach out. But, we've had those conversations about, when is it appropriate to kind of push out my business message. And, and sometimes we just want to reach out and extend, gratitude or a greeting to people without that sales call to action. And that's your call, depending on, what your objective is and who your audience is. So very cool. What about email subject lines for the holidays, Kevin?
I would definitely maybe keep something a little bit longer than just happy holidays or a 2 or 3 word. Make it a little bit longer. Make sure it says from your name or your business, so that they know what to expect before, when they're seeing that preview mode before they actually open the email. It says happy holidays from so-and-so. It's going to do a little bit better than just straight happy holidays.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because with email subject lines, historically, we've always been told, okay, keep it really short and sweet, try to go for 3 words. And that really isn't necessarily working algorithmically anymore. We're actually seeing that some of these longer subject lines, things that might feel a little more clickbaity or engaging or compelling, are actually inboxing and driving better responses for people.
Definitely, it's the trend has always been letting the person know what to expect before they open the email is going to get you better open and click rates.
Easily said. All right. Wonderful. Well, I think that we could probably sit here and give best practices all day, but I think that's a really great starting point for our holiday newsletters. And of course, inside of Emerge, we have thousands of beautiful custom-made templates. We have holiday greetings. They're all mobile friendly, and our users can actually dial in and just customize and run with what we have. So if you'd like to check that out, visit us at easyemerge.com, or you can come to tryelevate.com and request a demo there as well. So Kevin, you're not free yet. I always finish these casual conversations with a fun fact. So what fun fact do you have for us about the life of Kevin Blank?
The life of Kevin Blank. I guess maybe 2 facts. My 2 fun facts about myself are that I am an active sailor, that I race sailboats throughout the year, and that I build my own guitars.
Awesome. Very cool. And actually on your Instagram account, you document both parts of that lifestyle for yourself. So we see all of your race pics, we see all the beautiful guitars and everything that you're making. So you can actually check Kevin out on Instagram. I'll share his Instagram handle, and you can check it out. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Thanks for dialing in. Happy holidays. Good luck with all of your holiday mailings, and we look forward to connecting with you again next Friday when we release new content. Bye.
Bye.